If you are a solo filmmaker and you don't have these filters, then you're probably not getting the best footage that you could get. But let me explain why. I think having a filter kit like this is extremely important because when you just start off filmmaking, I feel like knowing all of these different filters and kind of having them all thrown at you can be pretty intimidating. So having them all in one place, it's really fascinating. The way that they have these filters set up is nothing quite like I've seen before in the way that they interact with each other, but let me explain that too. ND filters are a must when it comes to daytime lighting. If you're not really aware, if you're wondering how people get that shallow depth of field in very harsh bright daylight, you kind of have to have these on. It's like putting sunglasses on your camera. If you're wondering how that look is achieved, it's done like that. So the filter that I used the most was the ND True Color 1:5 stop. That was amazing for me. I used it on pretty much everything I did. It almost lived on my camera, and it was so easy to take on and off. It had a super robust kind of metallic build to it. And during those really bright daylight shots that I would get, it was able to cut that light out without doing any color casting or causing any type of green tint, which I really enjoyed about this ND in particular. I actually went to St. Martin with this filter, and I was able to get a whole bunch of footage of my girlfriend and just kind of our travels. And it was super cool because I didn't have to color correct all of the footage to have this green tint taken out of it, which I've had to do with other ND filters before. So thank God for the NISI ND for that. When you think about how ND filters or just filters in general interact with each other, normally you kind of think of this scenario where you have to screw on and off all these filters, and that kind of takes a long time. If you're going to try and get a shot, you're going to want to get it out as quickly as possible, set your camera up and get the shot. Obviously, if it's a run and gun scenario, you really want to be quick with it. And if you have to screw on and off these filters, a lot of the times that can be not so great. So what NISI did was actually really cool. So let's say you have the True Color 1:5 ND and you twist it all the way to 5 and it's still too bright and you want to cut out more. Well, that's totally okay, because there's actually a totally different one that can snap right over top of it that goes from 5 to 9, and you really just kind of push it over top of the other one and it's really stable and it doesn't move. And then when you twist the handle on the bottom ND, you're really just going from 5 stops to 9 stops, and the image is really nice. So that was super convenient, I found. Funny story actually about lens filters in general and how sturdy the ND is for NISI. I wasn't even planning on telling this story, but my friend and I were shooting a bunch of Toyota Supras and we were getting some car content, and we were both harnessed in the back of a truck, and his ND filter fell off. I don't know what brand he was using, but he wasn't using NISI. I can tell you firsthand, mine stayed on. So if you're ever asking yourself, is it gonna be that steady if I just push the ND over top of the other? Is it really sturdy on there, or is it gonna fall off? Trust me, it's not gonna fall off. My friend's ND filter fell off and it was a screw on. This one was not a screw on, at least for the over top layer, and it did not fall off with wind and bumpiness and everything. Within this kit, NISI also provided a 1/8 black mist filter, and this thing looks awesome. 1/8 was such a natural look. It isn't too much bloom, but it's just a little bit of a glow to the highlights. And for some of the night shots that I got downtown in the city, these really made those shots look really nice. I also used it during the day. This is kind of another one of those filters that lived on my camera. It just adds a bit of a natural, softer look overall, and it takes away a bit from that sharpness that you would get. It just makes things look a little more natural. I'm gonna get real with you guys real quick. So I understand that there are a million other videos on the internet of people trying to sell you something, whether that's a lens filter or something camera accessory, whatever, right? I shoot cars, I shoot fashion, I shoot events, and a lot of the times it's just me or me plus 2 or 3 others. I use these on every single shoot. I do not leave them at home. They live on my camera. It's a very real, relationship with the filters that I have. So I highly recommend them, and I'm not trying to lead you down the sales path of, just go and buy the filters. I have been really honing in on my color grading lately. My next video is definitely going to be a color grade video using DaVinci. So if that's something that interests you and you want to see some color grading, that's great, because that's coming. And you can be one of the few people that gets to tune in and see that. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe. Let me know if you liked this or if this was useful to you at all. I do plan on posting a lot more. So yeah, thanks again, and until next time, take it easy.